Hi everyone, this is Jenny from Jennae's DIY Studio, and today we're going to be working on the Witchy hat bookmark. First of all, I want to thank everybody that has been following me and sending me comments and all the love on my YouTube channel, Jennae's DIY Studio. I also want to let you know this is the first time that I do a blog also while showing you a pattern. So leave your feedback down below through the video. I'm here to see everything. So you will see some news, some things that I have been working on through the video. Now the video is crocheting every single step, so you will see that the video is almost an hour, and it's because I want you to see the real time. So let's get started. We will be working from the top of the cone to the border of the hat. Then we will be doing the center of the bottom. We will be doing also the tail with the fringe and the bow. For materials, we will be using 2 colors, scissors, and your crochet hook. Remember to use the size accordingly. Let's get started. Let's start getting our yarn set up. I'm using the color green for the tutorial because I started doing it in color black and it didn't show that well. So there's the black one with the green stripes, so we're going to be working on the green with the black stripe. Now for my stitch marker, I use a piece of yarn that contrasts the base color. So in this one, I'm using black. Let's get started. Grabbing your yarn and putting everything away. Let's do a magic circle. Remember to wrap around the yarn around your fingers. I like to do 2 rounds. Put your hook inside the loops. Pull 1 loop. Chain 1. And we're going to be crocheting, single crocheting 6 times. So there's this 1, 2, that's 3, 4, 5, and number 6. Okay, what goes next? Make sure that you have 6 single crochets. And after you double check, make sure to close that magic circle and remember to do it really tight. In my case, I start pulling the yarn to see which one pulls first. Then I pull the other one, close this as tight as possible, and then I put the tail. In this pattern, don't cut your tails, your ends, because we're going to use them as the inside of the hat. Okay, now let's go to our row number 2. We're going to put, in this case, the stitch marker. Remember that you can use any stitch marker that you have. And now, as you see on the screen, we're going to be doing a single crochet increase. That means that we're going to be doing 2 single crochets on that first stitch. Okay, so we have 1 loop pull up, so that's 1 single crochet, and remember we're going to do another one in that same stitch. So I pull 1, pull again, and there's 2 single crochets in that same space. Now we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches. So that is 1. Now we have 2. This will be number 3. And then we will have number 4. And remember, sometimes because at the beginning it's really tight, so you have to fight with it. But remember to put your single crochet under both loops. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the last one, we need to do a single crochet increase. That means that we have to put 2 single crochets in one stitch. Okay, that's our last one. So it's 1 single crochet and another one. There's our single crochet increase. I put there on the end of the row, we had 8 stitches in total. I put it there so that you can also follow through. Okay, let's go to row number 3. Okay, first thing, move your stitch marker. Remember to take it out and put it back again as reference to know where that row starts. Okay, the first one is single crochet increase. So let's do 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet in that same space. Now we're going to do 4 single crochets. So that is 1. Let's go to the next one. That is number 2. Next stitch, another single crochet. That will be 3. And this will be 4. Now the next one is a single crochet increase. So there is 1 and the number 2 on the same space. Now at the end, we will have 2 single crochet spaces. So it's 1 single crochet in each space. There's 1 and that is number 2. Okay, so we are done with that row. Now for row number 4, same, take the stitch marker out, put it at the beginning, and we're going to start with a single crochet increase. As you see, the pattern, it repeats itself. So there is 1 single crochet and another one in the same space. There's a single crochet increase. Now we're going to single crochet in the next 4 stitches. So it's 1, another one on the next one, that will be 2, 3, and the last one, number 4. Now we have to single crochet increase in the next space. That means that we have 2 single crochets in the same space. So there is 1 and there's 2. Now we have left 4 stitches, and now we're going to do 1 single crochet in each of them. So there is 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. Now let's go to row number 5. Move the stitch marker again, and we're going to start with a single crochet increase. Remember, as always, 2 single crochets in the same space. So there is 1 and 2. Now we're going to do 1 single crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. So there is 1. Let's go to the next one. That will be 2. Next one will be 3. The next one will be 4. Now a single crochet increase on the next one. One single crochet and another one on the same space. Now at the end, you will have 6 stitches left. You're going to do 1 single crochet in each one. Now remember, on the screen, you will see the amount of stitches that you will have in that round at the end. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the last one, that will be 6. Now we're going to move the stitch marker, and we're going to row number 6, and we're going to do a single crochet increase like before. That's 2 single crochets in that first stitch. And now we're going to do 1 single crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to do a single crochet increase, 2 single crochet in the same stitch. That is 1, and that is 2. Now for this one, you will have 8 stitches left. We're going to do 1 single crochet in each one. Make sure that your stitches have this amount needed. Okay, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and last one, that will be 8. For row number 7, we will be working on the front loops only. I put the instructions on the screen just in case you need to put pause or you need to repeat or anything. Okay, so in this case, I'm not going to be using the stitch marker because we're already going to be working on the front loops. Okay, for the first loop, I'm going to be doing a slip stitch. So I just put the hook in and pull my loop all the way through. Now I'm going to chain 2, and then I'm going to be doing a half double crochet, but we're going to be doing it on the next stitch, on the next loop, not on the same one that I did the chain, on the next loop. And see here that I almost did it under both of the loops, and it's only on the front loop. We will be doing this all around. Remember, that is only 1 half double crochet. We will be doing now 2 half double crochets on each loop all around. Okay, so now since we're going to be doing that, that is 1 half double crochet, and there is another one, and there you will see 2 half double crochet on the same stitch. So now you're going to be doing it all the way around. I'm going to take advantage of this time here that we're still doing those 2 half double crochet on each stitch until the end, until we have that last front loop available, to give you some highlights of what I've been working on. So I've been working on some crochet patterns. If you have followed me for a while, you have seen my owls for Halloween series. Those are small amigurumis, little owls that I have. They're on the blog, and they're like several videos here in the channel. I'm gonna put the link of those on the description below. I will be working also on a story that goes with them because I'm gonna publish, I think in a month or 2, I'm gonna draw those patterns and put them all together because Halloween is coming, and I know a lot of you are trying to do those patterns like by August or September before October comes. So they're gonna be patterns together of my Halloween and fall theme amigurumi owls with a story. So this is like kind of different type of book because I just started writing children's books and illustrating them. So I'm gonna combine this experience about writing books with my crochet journey because I love doing crochet. I like to do new patterns. And so since I have had this love for the owls, I had the backstory, a little kid story, also kid friendly, and for all those Halloween lovers, so that book is coming out. So for my books that I have published, I have 2 books. One is in Spanish, the other one is in English. It's called A Nature Walk from A to Z. It's a children's book going in the outdoors, going to hiking, looking at different stuff, and there is something from the outdoors with each letter of the alphabet. It's my first project. It's self-published and it's available on Amazon. It has the Kindle version and the paperback. And you can see it on my author's page, and you will see my name on it by Jennifer Orengo. And the link will be on the description below. So here you see that I finished the round. Now I'm going to be doing a slip stitch on that first half double crochet, and you don't see it here. You see me struggling doing that first slip stitch on that first half double crochet. I have my notes on my notebook. I recommend doing a half double crochet on that same space where you did the chain, that beginning one that looks like a standalone 2 chains. Do another half double crochet in there and then slip stitch on the top. That's what I did. I totally recommend it because it looks better. Or you can follow the pictures and you can see. Okay, so for finishing, remember to chain 1 and pull the string through, fasten off. And what I did is hide that string towards the inside of the hat. So on the back, you will see that I just like hide that string inside, and then that little tail, just pull it through several loops towards the inside of the hat. This is kind of tricky. If you have a big needle or something, you can use a smaller crochet hook, but in this case I used the same one. So it's just like pulling that tail inside because all the tails are going to be the filling of the part of the cone that is the top of the hat. Our next step will be working on the hat bottom, and we're going to be following the same pattern as we did at the beginning, but this time we're going to do 8 single crochets. So we're going to start with the magic circle as we did before. I like to do 2 rounds on my fingers. We pull 1, do 1 change, and then we're going to do 8 single crochets. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now when we have the 8 single crochets made, make sure to count them and that we have them all. Now we're going to close that magic ring. Remember that I like to pull a little bit that tail to know which of the 2 strings I'm going to pull first. So there I am closing the circle, but this time make sure that you leave a little space. Don't tie it until the end because that's where our tail is gonna be coming from. As you see, I put the hook inside so that there's a little space so I can pull in the strings, the yarn that I'm gonna use for attaching that tail. Okay, now let's go to row number 2, and we're gonna do single crochet increase on each of the stitches. So we're going to do one single crochet and then another one on the same stitch, and we're going to continue this all the way around until we have the 16 single crochet all around it. For those that are new, I'm Jennifer Orengo. I'm the voice and face behind Jennae's DIY studio. I do crochet patterns and crochet tutorials. Have been doing this for several years since I was a kid, but in the past few years is when I started doing the YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button there so that you can get the message when I upload a new video. Here we're finishing the last stitch. Make sure that you have all 16 stitches. Now we're going to pull up a loop and slip stitch it, then one chain, and then grab some yarn, like a long tail, because this is the one that we're going to be using for sewing the two parts together. Grab your scissors and cut it and pull that string out because that part is completed and we needed to put it away to use it for that bottom. And as you see, it fits in there. That's what we're going to be working later after we complete the tail. And there's the top and the bottom. Now we're going to go to the next step. Let's put everything away before we continue. Let's recap of what we're working on. Okay, we have the top and the bottom already done. Now we're going to be working on that string. Now remember, the string, I do it on a certain amount, but you can do it with the amount that you want for your book. Let's get started. Okay, so for this one, I did a chain of 40. And as soon as you complete this chain, you will see that I skip one and then I slip stitch back until the end and I chain one and I fasten off. So what I'm going to do is, well, the video is going on live. So the time of this video is like me doing it with you. So technically the time that you see there is the time that it will take you to do the Witchy hat bookmark. So I'm going to take advantage of this time while I'm doing the chain of 40 and talk about what comments I have been reading on my other videos. So let's get started with that. So one of the comments that I have seen lately is like, where can I find the written pattern for this video? That's why I'm putting also the pattern on the video, as you see on this one. Now going back to the video, you see that here I have just completed the 40 chains. Now I'm gonna skip one and then I'm gonna be slip stitching all the way through. As you see, slip stitch is pulling that yarn all the way through and then going to the next one and pulling that yarn all the way through. Remember to skip the first chain and then you continue slip stitching. Other comment that I have been receiving is thanking me to having a video that can be used for different things. If you look at one that says how to crochet a horn, it can be for a unicorn. I basically did it for my unicorn owl, but some people are using it like for the dinosaur or some spikes or a crown. So it has been a really versatile video. So I'm really glad that everybody has been sharing that with you. And that video, I'm going to put it on the description below so that for those that are wanting to see one, to do a cone, a spike or something, you can go there and see which one I'm referring to. Here we continue working on the slip stitch. Remember that we're going to be doing it until the end. Okay, so let's continue. Another video that I have a bunch of likes it's in Spanish though, but it's the cat mom, and I'm really grateful for this. This is one of my videos that have over 50,000 views, and the comments are crazy. Like thank you for putting it, thank you for being so detailed, for being so specific, doing it live. That's one of my longest videos. I think it's the longest one, yes, because I do it with, I do it while I'm recording it, and that one doesn't have a voiceover like this one. This one I'm going back and forth because I had a bunch of snippet and then put it together, and now I'm doing the voiceover. But you will see that that video is like really raw. I just put the camera on, hit play, and I just record and explain through the process, really specific, showing like every single step. I remember doing it in a bigger yarn and bigger hook in order for you to see it. But remember that one of the cat mom is in Spanish right now, but I'm gonna redo it and do it in English because I have seen a bunch of comments also asking for that English version. So I giving all the thanks for everybody that had shared, commented on that video. I'm really overwhelmed for that love for that video about the cat mom. And for those that don't know, there's also the little baby cat. Okay, so here we're going at the end, and there you see that I finished and just chain one and cut a little tail and then pull that hook out so that the yarn goes out, and there's the tail. The tail is already done. Remember at the end also to stretch it out, because as you saw, it starts getting like a small curl, but you can stretch it out and it will turn straight. Just like pull it really hard and it will be good. Okay, so now we're going to be working on the tail fringe. So here I'm measuring like how long I want that fringe, and then I fold it in half to get that same length, because I will be folded in half in that. And so I'm gonna be cutting 4 pieces of yarn. And remember, since it's gonna be folded, it's like having 8 pieces, but you need 4 because you're gonna fold it as soon as you pull it through the tail. So here I'm cutting the ends, and I'm really specific here because at the end I don't want to like cut it, but it depends how you do your measurements. At the end you might have or not cut a little bit of the fringe so that it's all straight. So here we're going to be pulling that hook inside the loop that formed when we went back from the chain stitch to do the slip stitch. And here I wanted to do all 4 all 4 pieces of yarn at the same time, but it didn't work, and you see me struggling. But here what I did was just let it go and then started pulling them one by one. So be patient with this part because like me, I was trying to do it fast because I was recording, but it eventually worked. I went one by one pulling them. There's one tail in, that's the second one, and just keep on going and pulling each one. If you have been this far, we're almost there. That's the 3rd piece. And as you see, we are like in the half-hour mark. I hope you have been this far, and I will really love to see your creations. If you can tag me with Jennae's DIY Studio on Instagram or even here on YouTube. And that's the last one. Okay, so here, look what I do. I just like put them all together and align them. See, that one is out of place. And then I pull them all together so that they're in the place that I want them, and then fold it in half. And there you have, that's your fringe. Now we're going to be working on the next step, that is the bow. Now for the bow, what I did, I technically used the stitch marker that I was using. That's the little piece of black yarn, but you can cut whatever piece you want. And what I did is I hold it by the top of the fringe and did some rounds with it, holding one side. And there I did like 2, 3, and I think that was it. And now you're going to be doing a knot. I did just like 1 and 2 to tie it. And I don't go like really hard because I want it to be like really tight, but being careful not to let everything fall off. So there is one, and I think I pause it and then continue. No. Yes, there it is. Yeah, I pause it and then continue because I was struggling, because it was so short that I was struggling to pass through that short yarn. I recommend having a longer piece of yarn and then you cut it. And what I do for the little bow is just open the yarn. It has like 4 strings, so I just open them and then, as you see, cut them a little bit smaller. And you can do also that with the fringe if it's not the way that you want. There I'm opening the strands of yarn, and that part of the tail is done. The tail is complete. So we have all our pieces that we need. We have the bottom of the hat, the top, and the tail. The tail is complete. It has the black bow, but we're missing the black stripe that goes around the hat. Okay, so for this one, you will see, like I have on the black hat, that it has the stripe on the bottom and on the top. Let's start first by connecting the tail to the bottom of the hat. So remember that you have that big hole that is for you to be able to put the hook in and pull those strings from the chain string inside. But as you saw, I pull a lot, so we're going to put it into place. And that string that we have, the yarn that we have from the center where we did the magic ring, what I do is I do a knot there to secure that tail into place. So do a few knots there. Don't cut the yarn, because that yarn, we will be using it as filler for the top of the hat. You will see here that I did several knots, and that part is complete. Okay, so now we're going to be working on the stripe of color. Here we will be doing a slip stitch around the end of the cone, that is the base of the hat, and in between the holes that the 2 half double crochet stitches did. Now what you see that I'm doing is tying the tail of that yarn on one of the yarn pieces that we have on the inside, so it's secure and we don't have it like getting out of place. And look what I do. I search for one of the holes, because see all those holes at the base, those are the ones that were created by the half double crochets. So that's the place that we will be working on. So as you see, I put the hook in, and then I will be pulling that yarn through. And here I'm moving everything out of the way. So I pull that yarn through, and then what I'm going to do is go to the next space and grab that yarn again, always pushing that tails away. And as you see, I pull and then I will slip stitch. So I put the hook in, pull the yarn through, and slip stitch again. And what we're basically doing is slip stitching all around the base of the hat. And this you will repeat it all the way around until the end. Let's continue with the block part. Okay, so drop your questions on the bottom, any suggestion, any message, it doesn't matter. Drop it in the comments below. I will love to hear about you and see if you did it, if you like it, or if you did a variation of color. Remember to tag me at Jennae's DIY Studios. I want to see those. And let me know what kind of video or what tutorial you would like to see next. I'm planning, since there's fall comes after summer, and that's my favorite season. My favorite season is all spooky. You can notice because of the owl books. So one thing that I'm planning to do is a tutorial of a cauldron and wick coasters. I saw some of those, but never found a tutorial that I like. So I made my version, and we're gonna do those as a tutorial. And after this one, I think this video, after uploading it, I'm gonna be working on translating into Spanish, and the cauldron will come next with English and Spanish version. But as I said, drop on the comments below any suggestions, what you will like to see, and anything. Drop your positive vibes in there. Okay, so here on what we're working on, we're almost done. That's like the stitch before the last one. We're close there, so we're putting that hook on the hole before and still slip stitching. But there, since we're almost at the end, I'm gonna be pulling one more loop. And let's see, that tail has to go out of the way. And pulling that loop, that last slip stitch, and I pulled that yarn. And remember, I do cut it like a little bit short. I recommend cutting it a little bit longer so that it's easier to tie down. So as you see there, what I'm gonna do is pass that string, that last part of the yarn, on top of the first chain that you see there. So I'm gonna push that crochet hook in between the first stitch, pull it to the back, and then I will be tying it with the other string. And as you see, it's so small and hard to secure, so be mindful, and I recommend putting a little bit more extra yarn so it's easier for you to tie all those ends. Here you can see that I was actually struggling with the short tails, so definitely do that longer. Now after the knot is done and all that yarn is secure from the stripe, push everything inside the cone of the hat, because our hat is already complete. That's all the top. We don't need to do anything more to the hat. No more crocheting on for it. Okay, so here what you see is that I'm stretching that yarn to put all the stitches into place and to make sure that the hat has that cone shape and that everything is secure and put into place. So now grab your tail that has already the base of the hat, the bottom of the hat. And we already did the little bow, the fringe, and all the chain. So now like curl all the yarn together. Remember that this is going inside the top of the hat. So we're not doing any stuffing because we're using the same yarn. So that is not necessary on this case. So for some of you, you would like to have a tapestry needle. Some will say it's easier, but me, in this case, I was lazy, so I used the same crochet hook to sew in the bottom with the top of the hat. And as you see, I'm using the back loops that were left behind when we were doing the 2 half double crochet on the front loops. So I'm using that loop and going through both of the loops of the single crochets from the bottom and pulling that yarn through all those 3 loops. Here I was struggling a little bit at the beginning, but then I kind of figure it out and then continue on sewing it. As you see, I'm going under that free loop that is by the stripe of color, then going in front and on the bottom of the 2 following loops. Now remember, continue doing this all the way around until the end. I was super surprised that the pattern announcement that I did of the bookmark, it got over 2,000 views on the first day. That was amazing. So the book that I have on the video, I have seen comments asking about the book. It's called The Darkwood Tarot. And it says that it's from Sasha Graham and the art is by Abigail Larson. This is my first tarot cards deck and book. The set came with everything, with the book and the cards. I will have the link below on the description so that you can go and order it if you like it. And if you're into tarot cards too, as I said, it comes in a box with the guide and the deck of tarot cards. The link goes directly to it. And also, I'm going to put the link of my Amazon recommendation, so there you can see other stuff that I recommend, especially the yarn that I'm using for this project that is 100% cotton and is one of my favorites and the one that I use for the Halloween owls also. So here you see we're on the last stitches. I know this one takes a little bit longer, especially if you're not using a needle that is for sewing. I like to use the crochet hook. I don't know why, but for me it's easier to manage, so I always do it like that. So here at the end, try to like stretch it out, keep on sewing until the end, and you will see that this few last stitches, I'm like struggling a little bit because it's getting tighter towards the end. But now I want you to see something because we need to be sure that that tail is on its place. So as you saw that I pull it just to move it, it got then not out of place. So I'm trying there to pull it back in. So what I do is grab that yarn and that tail inside again. And what I recommend is like grabbing those tails and some of the other tails from the inside and make a knot, like secure your work. See there, I have 2 big tails. Those are from the inside of the hat. There, the camera was trying to fall on me, but secure your work always. When you're crocheting, do that. So there I did like one knot and another one, but as you see, I pull it through again so it's in place. So make sure that you're doing this part accordingly. Make sure that everything is in place. But also when you're doing the knot, make sure that you're not pulling that hard, because I remember when doing this, like the top center of the magic ring, see there, it got like pulled too much, and then I had to start stretching it out because I did by mistake like tied it too hard, and I didn't need it to do that far. I just needed to do a knot to secure the bottom tail, but not like squish the hat. But everything is good. Just do a few knots so everything stays into place, and then stuff everything back in. And remember, all the string go inside the extra yarn, because it's basically our filling of the witchy hat. And at the end, just keep on sewing those last few stitches, and as you see, more little tails are still out. It took me a while to know which one was the yarn that I was using for sewing, so put that on the side and push everything back in, and as you saw, everything like fit correctly to fill that space. So there, I think I have like 2 or 3 stitches left, and you just keep on stitching and sewing. And remember, you go on that loop that was left from the half double crochets that we did for the border, the flappy part of the hat. And that one, as you see, I struggle a little bit because it's kind of tricky, because it's already like almost done. So there, I just like pull that yarn through, and I think there's only one more left to finish this project. So we're almost there. Okay, there's that one, and under that single crochet. And as I see, I'm struggling a little bit, but we're getting there. I'm glad to film this videos like this, because it shows you every single step of the way with no super duper editing on the steps. So that's the last one, and the hat is done. Now we need to squish everything, pull, and just pull that yarn. And as you saw, like pull the yarn inside the bottom, like hide it. And what I'm doing there is like pulling that yarn from the top of the hat, the one that I told you that I pulled too much. That's what I was doing there, like stretching out and pushing all the yarn inside the hat again. Yeah, it's good for you to see this so that you know what all the little steps. So here I'm just stretching out the top, so we got the form of the cone right, and then everything is into place. So now what we have left is only cutting that yarn at the end. What I do here, I think I hide that tail for another side. Yeah, so I pull it inside so it doesn't cut it there and then start unsewing backwards. So just secure it inside, and then you're good to cut it. But here I think I'm doing it like a few times so it's really secure, and that sewing that we did around that bottom of the hat is really secure, and it doesn't unsew on us, because sometimes we try to cut it like really there where we finish, but it just starts untangling, and we don't want that. So what I did is I just like moved that yarn like back and forth inside the witchy hat. So make sure that you did all the tightening and pulling it and everything. Now grab your scissors and cut that extra yarn. And remember to fluff everything out, like stretch it and organize those stitches, like push them into place, because sometimes it gets curly or a weird shape. You just like push and pull until it has the shape that you want. Like there, I like the really pointy hat, so I just like start squishing that top until it's like a cone. And there you have it. There's the Witchy hat bookmark with that little bow, fringe, and the tail. For those that want to support me, also, you can do it in another way. I created an account that is Buy Me a Coffee. You can donate anything that you feel to. You will see that it has the two logos as in the picture. Is the books Jennifer Orengo, author and illustrator, and Jennae's DIY Studio, tutorials for crocheters. Thank you so much for watching the tutorial. Remember to subscribe and comment below. I will see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.